From WFRV Local 5, your local election headquarters. This is Newsmaker Sunday.
Good morning. Thank you for joining us for Newsmaker Sunday. I'm Tom Zalaski. Well, just over 2 weeks away to Election Day, and while scores of races for state and national seats are up for grabs, Green Bay residents will be voting on a $183 million referendum for the Green Bay Area Public School District. And joining us this morning to discuss that referendum and all that comes with it is the Green Bay Area Public School District Interim School Superintendent Vicki Beyer and Chief Operating Officer Cale Polchinski. Both of you, good morning. Thanks so much.
Good morning.
It's good to have you back on the show again, Vicki. If you would break down for us, please, the $183 million referendum that you're asking for. It comes in three parts.
Right.
What are these three parts?
Yeah, first of all, thank you so much for giving us this opportunity. We know a lot of people watch your show, so this is a great chance for us to get the word out.
Thank you.
So we have three sections to the referendum. It is $183 million, and if we get a chance, we'd like to talk about that a little bit. Broken into three different areas: deferred maintenance, safety and security, and then addressing the consolidation of our schools, because as you know, we've closed, the board has voted to close 6 elementary schools to address a budget deficit. So Cale, you want to talk a little bit about what the referendum looks like?
Yeah, I'll start with the first piece, the deferred maintenance. So a few years ago, we went through some facility studies, identified about $450 million to $500 million worth of deferred maintenance over the next 30 years. Obviously a big number, and starting to chip away at that would be a portion of this referendum. That's for things such as mechanicals, heating, cooling, electrical, large equipment pieces, things like that, but also building envelope, roofs, brick and mortar, windows, things like that. So really the aging of our buildings and addressing that deferred maintenance, that large $450 to $500 million, a portion of that would be addressed in this referendum. Then to the safety security piece, really the focus on the secondary schools, entrances, secure entrances, similar to what we've implemented in a lot of our elementaries. So this is really an enhancement. So we do have security measures at our secondaries, but enhancing that to make sure people accessing our buildings are vetted and it's really controlled.
Right.
Along with that as well, just supervision and accessibility throughout our buildings, whether that's restrooms, cafeterias, and again, those entrance areas. And then the last piece Vicki mentioned was that consolidation piece. So addressing the schools that we have closed and moving in with other elementary schools, really improving those schools for equity and learning purposes, as well as making sure they have the accommodations they need from a physical plant means.
I know you don't take this ask lightly because it's a big ask. Is this the result of long-term needs or as a result of current circumstances that happened just in the past couple of years?
Yeah, that's a great question. Both.
Both, yeah.
Yeah, let's go with both because that's the reality. Long-term, the deferred maintenance is something that every district in the state of Wisconsin has had to address since 1993, when revenue caps went into place for public school funding. School districts have a harder time setting aside enough money to maintain their facilities. Larger districts struggle even more. In fact, currently out of our budget, our total budget of $311 million, we are only able to set aside $3.5 million each year to care for 42 schools, 42 buildings. And it's impossible to keep up with the maintenance with that amount of money. So the state of Wisconsin gives us a tool, and the tool to take care of maintenance is through referendum. That's why you've probably noticed, and I'm sure a lot of the viewers have noticed, that almost 50% of school districts this year are going to referendum. That's because we're utilizing the tool that they gave us.
Yeah, there are like 150, I think, statewide
right.
Referendum questions. You know, there are going to be some people out there who are asking, you've got declining enrollments, why do you need this referendum of this size? Does the referendum have nothing to do with enrollment?
Well, actually, the changes that we're making that are built into this referendum are to address declining enrollment.
Okay.
Part of it is a new school on the west side,
Right.
new elementary school. Yeah, can you talk about that a little?
Yeah, I think that's a good example. So we're taking essentially 3 schools, kind of combining those enrollments into one facility. If you look at kind of average age of those buildings, we're around 60 years old of those facilities. So investing dollars into one or multiple of those facilities long-term continues to impact that deferred maintenance. It just keeps increasing. Investing dollars into a facility that's really at the end of its life. Mm-hmm. So what we're doing by consolidating, with some upfront costs, really building in efficiencies for the future, right? Whether that's facilities, energy consumption, operating costs, services to students, all those things, really putting that under one roof where we can control that cost and see that, reap that benefit moving forward.
The Green Bay school referendum question, we have much more to come on that after this, so please stay right there. We are back now with Green Bay Area Public School Interim Superintendent Vicki Beyer and Chief Operating Officer Cale Polchinski. We're discussing the upcoming school referendum question. Some of the referendum question calls for, we mentioned earlier, a new elementary school on the west side of town. Why the west side? What's going on there?
Yeah. Well, again, we're addressing declining enrollment, and when we look at where's the growth happening in the city, it's really happening over on the east side. On the west side, that's where we're going to be closing some of our elementary schools. And as Cale had mentioned, to be able to bring 3 schools together in one location is going to be fiscally responsible for the community.
And you had mentioned some of the things that you need, things like new roofs, floors, windows. How about things like basement issues for these old schools?
Oh boy.
Yeah, I think that falls certainly into that bucket of improvements, deferred maintenance. Again, average age of our schools is around 65 years old. Foundations, things like that, that's getting up there in age. So addressing those needs through some of that deferred maintenance is great, but also where we can avoid costs. So when we can consolidate, and in this case our board chose to close multiple schools, we avoid that cost of that repair that may not be the most responsible use of our dollars, repairing buildings of that age.
So
I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
By closing the 6 schools, we are able to save annually $5 million. And then to Cale's point, we can take $60 million of what we would have spent on maintenance for those buildings, take that and put it somewhere else.
You're looking at these improvements. We just saw some kids at Chapel School sitting in the hallways. Is there that limited space in some of our facilities?
The schools aren't overcrowded, but we do have limited space for breakout sessions or areas where students can experience instruction in a different way than inside the classroom. So that was a good example.
And Cale, you mentioned some of the safety aspects that you're putting in. What necessitated that? What has been happening over these past few years that made you folks decide we've got to put some money into this?
Yeah, I think when you look at school safety, there's a heightened awareness, certainly nationwide regarding that, with certain protocols and systems that we're using to be proactive in protecting our students and our staff. So again, kind of going back to that secure entry, that really starts at when you come into the building. So knowing with that heightened awareness and situations throughout the country, starting there, who we let in our buildings and how we let them into our buildings is very important. And that's kind of where we've landed on emphasizing that. Mm-hmm.
You recently did a public tour of Beaumont. And there's a school built back in 1959. Was that school kind of a poster child of the reason you have this need?
I think that school is a really good indication of some of the needs at our elementary schools that we have in the referendum. For example, at Beaumont, the gymnasium doubles as a cafeteria. So they have to do a quick turnaround. Physical education has to stop. We have to get the tables in there. Do you want to talk about that?
Yeah, I mean, you hit it right on the head, but it's not only the lunch and gym, it's other activities that schools can utilize that space for. So classrooms pulling out and having activities in a large space like a gymnasium. Recess, right? If we have poor weather outside, coming inside, that impacts gym and lunch at that point. So just flexible space is so critical to the way we teach and learn now. And having a one facility like that, a gym and a cafeteria in one area is very difficult.
We are back with more on the Green Bay School referendum right after this, so please stay with us. Back now talking about the Green Bay Area Public School District to discuss the $183 million referendum. If the district residents vote for this referendum and they pass it, of course the obvious question, what about my taxes?
Yeah.
What happens to my tax bill if we say yes?
Yeah, that's a great question, an important question. I was here 2 years ago and I asked the public to help us pass a $92.6 million referendum. That was in November of 2022. The community supported us, and we were able to make some significant changes to our facilities. If you drive around the community, we're hoping that you're very proud of what you see, and you're proud of your neighborhood and your neighborhood school. We almost have that paid off. We've been so fiscally responsible and dedicated to paying that off that by next April, it will be paid off. Because we've been able to do that, we are able to save the taxpayers money, secure low interest loan, and our ratings go up. So that's all great things for this community and for the taxpayers. Also, because we've done that, we are able to come back to the community and ask for this referendum, and it won't increase the mill rate for our homeowners, our taxpayers. In fact, our mill rate right now is 8.26. What is it?
Yep, I actually didn't have the old one. I only have the new one on my mind now.
Yeah, okay. So we're over $8, and if this referendum passes, we'll be down to
$7.65, I believe, is the new mill rate.
So in fact, the mill rate will go down.
You've had a number of public hearings, and I imagine once in a while you will hear some opposition from someone, those who might oppose this referendum. If it doesn't raise taxes, why would someone be opposed? On what grounds have they been giving you?
Yeah, because if it doesn't pass, it will go, mill rate will go down even lower. So, and I don't have that number, but it's on our website. So that's incentive, but the reality is, if this one doesn't pass, we will have to, I mean, that's the way the system is in Wisconsin now. We will be coming back again for a referendum, and then the next time it would increase mill rate if it were to pass.
So this sounds like it's kicking the can down the road almost, because
it would be.
You're going to have to do it eventually.
Correct.
Yeah, and part of that too, as if you kick that can down the road, really what you're looking at is being impacted even greater by inflation, increasing costs, which is a huge issue of why we need to go to these referendums. You know, alone as I look at from the capital side, construction costs since 2009 have increased 50%, right? That's only going to continue to increase, which is going to increase our need for some of these maintenance and improvements.
And what have you been doing to get the word out to the public beside your public hearings, so to speak?
Yeah, we've been getting out as much as we can, offering opportunities for community to come and hear us. We've been hitting coffee shops and doing neighborhood association meetings, social media really hard, and we've also done mailers. We're hoping if anybody has questions that they'll connect with us. We're definitely open to responding to any questions so that we can ensure that when they go to votes that they have all the information they need.
Yeah. What have you been hearing in these hearings?
It's been, I don't want to jinx it, it's been pretty positive.
Okay.
There have been some that can't support it no matter what, but overwhelmingly it's been really positive.
I think some of what's really been obvious with these community engagements is people coming in and not really fully understanding, like the conversation we're having here. When we have the opportunity to explain why we're going to referendum and why we need this for our schools and our children, I think people start to understand that and walk away with that knowledge. And one thing I wanted to mention too is how are we getting this out? As people have questions, I think a great resource is our website as well.
Yeah.
Our team has done a great job trying to get that information too that's at your fingertips on our website.
And we are back to wrap up right after this, so please stay with us. We are back now with more details on the $183 million school referendum for the Green Bay Public School System. Our guests, Interim School Superintendent Vicki Beyer and Chief Operating Officer Cale Polchinski. We're talking about the sessions you've been holding with the public. It sounds as though those who are interested have been coming out because they hear this number of 183, but they really didn't know what it is that they were being asked to pay for. But once you told them, it sounds like they were okay with it.
Yeah, and I think part of the confusion that helped people become supporters of this, I think, came from misunderstanding about how public schools are funded in the state of Wisconsin. So when we were able to explain that, I think a lot of people really understood why are there so many referendums and why would you come for such a large amount. So explaining to them, for example, special education. I think you and I have talked about that before. In the state of Wisconsin, we reimburse special education services at about 32%. That was this past year. What that means for a district as big as Green Bay is we have to take $35 million out of our general fund and put that over to cover special education costs. And that's $35 million that we could be putting into potentially facilities or adding more staff. So I think when people start to understand how we're funded in Wisconsin, then they feel more comfortable supporting a referendum.
And some of these things that you've been talking about are things that we, meaning we older people, never had to deal with in years past.
Right.
Special education.
Right.
Kids in special education were not given special education. They were just folded into the rest of the class. Cale mentioned safety and security. We never thought of that before, and you're having to spend money on that.
Multilingual learners.
That didn't happen.
Our district has over 4,200 students that aren't proficient in English. Some of them come to us never having spoken the language before. We need to educate them, and that is reimbursed at only 8%. So again, for our district, that means we take $16 million out of our general fund and shift it over to help support those students.
And you mentioned you've got a budget, but a small operating budget. Why is that so? Why don't you have a big operating budget?
I would love the people in Madison to tell us
That's
the answer
where it
to that.
starts. Okay.
Yes, sir. Our largest expense is our staff, as it should be. And then it comes to maintaining our facilities. And we'd rather put the money into our general budget into our staff and then go to the public to help support the facility part.
Okay. All right, let me ask you worst case and best case scenario. Worst case, obviously, it fails. What does that mean for Green Bay students, for their parents, their families, and for you folks who have to run the thing?
Yeah. If it fails, we still have to move forward with the consolidations. So we have 3 more schools that are going to be closing. The goal is for the 26-27 school year for that to happen. It would require us adjusting boundaries greater than we had planned for if the referendum were to pass. So more families will be impacted by boundary change if it doesn't pass. And ultimately, we'll still have to come back again and ask for funding. Would you say anything else?
Yeah, the only thing from a capital standpoint, which is the focus of this referendum too, is again that pushing that deferred maintenance down the road. One, increasing that cost in future, but we will have to address some needs, and a lot of that then becomes reactionary as we prioritize. Because we have so many needs, prioritizing the ones that are failing or impact learning. Those are ones we have to address first, and that can eat up, almost that entire $3.5 million on an annual basis. So it just becomes a little more difficult to keep our district running efficiently, certainly.
All right, I've got 1 minute to ask you about best case scenario. You win on election night, and after you've popped the champagne, what's job one? What's step one that you do with this $183 million?
We get to work.
Yeah.
We get to work. Cale and his team start the process of all the project development.
Yeah, so that includes our architect, engineer partners, getting out to the community, getting out to our staff, getting that input from user groups, and really building out the details. While we have kind of big picture, what we're sharing with the information for the referendum, we really start drilling into those details and getting that scope defined, down to every building or every classroom, really.
And we shall know in a matter of days. Vicki,
Yes, sir.
Cale, thanks so much for being with us today.
Thank you
very much.
Much appreciated. And if you have a newsmaker in your town who you think we should have on this show, let us know about it. Send us an email to tips@wearegreenbay.com, or you can message us on Facebook. And be sure to join us once again Sunday morning at 7. Until then, have a great day.